Hey there folks, welcome back to another part of my thing where I am making a robot Tetris announcer. Last time we got our robot to talk and that was exciting. There was an issue though. We had the robot talking over itself, and this happened when it gave a score update I think we set it every 40,000, and then we also made him talk every time you get a Tetris. And so if you got a Tetris to bring you over a 40,000 threshold, he would say both things at the same time, which is not what we want. We want some kind of a cue system that says, look, this is the thing I want you to say. I'm going to put it in the queue so that you can speak it when its turn comes. We don't want things being said on top of each other. So I think that's what we're going to try and solve today by introducing some kind of a queuing system into the text-to-speech class. So let's do that. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, go back and watch my previous video. We had a lot of fun. You know, one second, I have to deal with something. Okay, something on my desk was rattling around. Okay, so this is our score threshold. Oh yeah, I changed it from 40,000 to 100,000 after the fact. So I think that's better. Okay, so this is our general pattern. We get some text and we say the text. And I started creating the string, putting it into a variable and sending that variable to the sayText method because I thought we were having a kind of an order of operation issue with the string interpolation where we were getting a -1 as our level. So I pulled it out in this one. Current level. Interesting. No, it was he is playing. So yeah, we're saying new game starting at level, current level. But we were getting -1, and I thought that's because doing it this way would fix it, but it didn't. So I think moving forward, I'm just going to start doing it this way. Okay, anyway, that doesn't matter. Let's go back to our text-to-speech class. And this is what we do when we say text. Now, the thing is, we need to have a queue, and the queue is needing to be accessible from all the analyzers, because everyone wants to send text for the robot to say. So we're going to use a queue. Because everything is on different threads, we need a thread-safe queue. And I think C# has just such a thing. So let's make a new... Actually, we can just do this in the texts. No, let's make a speech queue. We'll make a speech queue. So we're going to make a new class, and it's going to be called speech queue. Okay, now this class is going to have a single method, public void queue speech, and it will right, this isn't an interface right now. So this will queue, maybe we'll say, no, you know what? This is not a speech queue. This is a text queue. Okay. Yes. Okay, this is a text queue text. You know what? We're just going to say queue. Now inside here, we're going to have a private, and there is something called a queue, but we want something called a concurrent queue. I think that's a thing. Yes. So a queue is a data structure that's basically like a line when you're waiting at the cash register or something. You know, it's first in, last out. So you have to wait your turn. You have to wait till everyone ahead of you goes, and then you get to go. And that's what a queue system is. The problem with a queuing system, a queue in a traditional sense, is that if you have threads, different threads writing to the queue concurrently, then you're going to have issues with your data, because everyone wants to add their bit of data to the end of the queue. But if something is currently writing to the end of the queue, you can't write two things to the same place in memory, and so you're going to get an error. And so we have a concurrent queue. And a concurrent queue is something that the .NET, it's actually part of net standard. So you can, it's for this very purpose. When multiple things want to add to one queue at the same time, you use a concurrent queue. And so this is it's got a count, gives you the number of things that, oh, sorry, looks like my audio's screwed up. Maybe not. Hopefully not. You got a count, you can see if it's empty, you can clear it, you can copy. On queue, that's when you add something to the queue. And dequeue is when you take something out. And so we're going to use this concurrent queue class because it's thread safe. And that's the important thing. Come on. And I wonder if we could even just put this as a concurrent queue of string. So the text queue is a concurrent queue. Because it's a concurrent queue, what am I doing? Yeah, that's fine. I can just... I think this is okay, as long as it is a concurrent queue. I can do all these things. That's actually pathetically easy. Whoops. I don't need individual methods because they're all done in the concurrent queue base class. But I think I'd like to make this a little more, I don't want to use the enqueue or onQueue method. So why don't we go like this? We're going to go public void add text, string text, and we are going to this dot onQueue text. Yeah, we'll try that. We'll see if that works. I think that might work. Okay, so there's that. We're going to have public string get next. And we are going to this dot. Now there's a try deck, and this tries to remove. So this try deck out string text return text. So that's all we're doing. That's our queue. It's not all that exciting, but I do want to extract an interface right there. So the iText queue has these two methods. Now, this is important. When we register this thing, the text queue, we are registering it as a single instance. And this is, we want to use the same queue for whatever analyzer you are. So every time you ask for a text queue, you're getting the exact same queue, and that's important. Now in our text speaker, we are also going to have we're going to have the text queue here. And the speaker. Now I could have made the queue inside the text speaker class, but this is a little more division of responsibilities. The queue is very different than the thing that speaks, and so let's just keep them separate. Now, the text speaker, yeah, these are two very important things. So we're going to have a public void start. And all we're going to do is while true, just forever. Actually, what is my text queue saying? Get next. You know, I'm wondering if this is a little overboard. The try deck method actually does contain some very nice things. So we say if queue try get out string text. Okay. That's what I want. It's going to be the same sort of functionality. Can I go this, that try deck out text? Can I do that? I think so. Okay, so I just turned the try deck into a try get because I like that better. It's also going to be part of the interface. And here in the speaker, we're going to have this queue. So if queue.tryget out string text, and now text is going to be populated, but the function itself returns a Boolean. So it'll be true and text will have a value. If it's false, we don't care about what text is. It's going to be nothing. But the try get will return false if there's nothing in the queue. So if we did have something in the queue, we have text, then we will say text async text. And I think we should I'm just thinking that this is void. We turn this into a task, so it's going to run on another thread. So we really have to await this. But in order to await this, we just want this to start. So we can't. Well, let's do this. Async task start. Await. So we're going to see if there's anything in the queue. We're going to say it. We're going to wait till we're done, which is going to wait for this to be done, which is going to wait for this to be done. Should only say one thing. Then it'll go back and try and get something else from the queue. And what's my problem here? I have right. Because now I don't have a say text async anymore. All I have is a task start method. Okay, that's fine. So now I'm going to get a bunch of errors. So let's grab each one of these errors. It's not a text-to-speech anymore. It's a text queue I want. Yeah, we'll just do that. And I guess I should have used the renaming capabilities here. I text queue. This might be difficult here. Add text. There we go. So this will add text, and it's not going to. It's just going to queue it up. That's fine. I mean, that's more than fine. That's exactly what we want. So this is going to be renamed to queue. This will be renamed to queue. And actually, I wonder if we shouldn't now do this in the base game analyzer. I have children. I also have a protected I text queue. Text queue. Must be more. Oh, protected set. Get. Well, let's do private set. Sure. Okay, public base game analyzer. Text queue. Queue. This will be better. Okay, so now I need to go to my is playing, and instead of setting the queue internally, or instead of setting the queue in the is playing analyzer constructor, we're going to send it off to the base constructor. And by doing that, we now have this awesome text queue thing that we can just use. Okay, let's go to the level analyzer. Nope, not move to namespace. We want to generate constructor. And we're done. We actually haven't dealt with the level yet. Let's get the score. Let's just delete that and delete that. So we can generate the constructor. It's good. We're going to have text queue. And it's not going to say text. We're going to add that text. Okay, again with the statistics analyzer, or the Tetris analyzer, which is by far the coolest one so far. If you don't quite understand why I'm doing this, I'm not making any functional changes. I'm just, if you have a superclass, like a base class, and many child classes, and each of the child classes needs the same stuff, it just makes sense to put it once into the base class, so each of the child classes can use it, inherit it, basically, rather than go through each child class and bring it in by itself. So that's why we did that. Okay, so now we have a text queue. Add text. Perfect. Okay. What other errors do I have? Do I have any other errors? Let's rebuild my project. No, so I'm good. Okay, so what we're going to do after I pour this coffee is we are going to play some Tetris. I'm going to actually take the threshold of the score analyzer. Sure. The threshold of the score analyzer, I'm going to make that 10,000. And what that's going to do is every 10,000, it's going to give a score update. And I want that because every Tetris is way more than 10,000. So we should be getting conflicting voices in the old way every time I get a Tetris. But now it should wait. Yeah, it should wait. So let me do this. Let me turn on my Nintendo and my television. Okay, and then we're going to go into OBS and click this scene. There's me. And I will put my headphones in. Okay, so now I'm going to get myself on the level select screen. And we will run this. And we are wanting to have no conflicting voices. Let's go. Hey. Where's my sound? Wait a second. Oh, right. Okay. Sorry. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Whatever. What I did was I have this start method, but I'm not using it anywhere. So when I start analyzing, run analysis here, I'm not starting the text queue at all. Oh, I got so many chords. So the question is, should I do this in the run analysis? I think so. Actually, should I just do this in the text queue itself, or the text speaker itself? I could simply do this. There's nothing wrong. Nothing says I can't do that. Of course, it is a task in a constructor, which is not really recommended. I think for now, we're just going to start it in the analyzer. So just before we start our game loop, we're going to start the text speaker. So we're going to get the text speaker in here. Text-to-Speach. This way we will have it, and we can text speaker dot start. And we're not awaiting this, so this is just going to start doing its thing. It's just going to start this on a different thread. And yeah, we should be good. Okay, so let me go back to here. Do this. Okay, we're starting up. Let's do it. Why isn't it talking to me? It didn't talk to me. What's happening? Okay, I'm putting a breakpoint when it tries to say something, just to see if we hit it. It's not getting hit at all. My breakpoint is just not getting hit. Okay, stop this then. Text speaker. Sorry, I should go back to my desktop here. Is that really right? So I've got the text speaker as an instance per dependency. I think maybe we'll make that single instance, although I only... text queue.add text. Try. It's quite confusing. So what? Okay, well, Okay, I'm gonna start it now that I've made it a single instance, although I don't know why that should have helped, or why that should help. We'll see if it does. It's just not working. I've broken it. Okay. I broke it. Why did I break it? Analyzer text speaker dot start. Like, am I not even... Start it again? Like, I don't understand. Wait a second. Wait just a second here. I think I know. I might have my tasks a little bit. I probably don't understand it precisely how tasks are run. So in my analyzer, I don't think I'm ever getting past start. Let's just see if I get past there. Yeah, I don't. It's going into a forever loop. So, okay, what I need to do... What's going on with my phone here? Okay, what I need to do, yeah, that's good to know. So just because this is a task, it's not necessarily running it on a different thread. So what I need to do is I need to run this. If I did that, now would it get past? Yeah, it totally would. Okay, so that's actually going to be, that's a pretty significant thing that I had no idea happened. I just thought just because it's a task it ran, but it doesn't necessarily do that. That it ran on another thread. You actually have to say, look, run this on another thread. So let's go back to our analyzer. This should be fine. Well, let's see if we get text speaking now. This one. Oh, I got my breakpoint hit, so that's no good. Sorry, folks. I had a bunch of breakpoints set, and it's hitting it. Okay, well, we're going to top that out. Now we're going to play it. Okay. So here we go.
New game starting at level -1.
Okay, so we still have that -1 issue. Boo-hoo for us. So we want to see if the Tetris
score is now 23,560. Wowzers, Tetris rate at 80%.
Okay, that's interesting. I mean, that's kind of what we wanted. It doesn't...
Score is now 30,020. Score is now 53,580. Boom, Tetris rate at 57%.
Okay, so, I mean, that's working. I'm not getting the two things at the same time, so that's good. We're going to top that out.
Game is done at 55,480.
Okay, so...
Score is now 888,888.
No, it's not. Okay, so it is working. I'm not sure why we're getting the score before the Tetris, though. Because the is playing. Oh, I see. It does have children, and the Tetris is the first child. Uh-huh. Analyze. Analyze. All right, we need to make this super threaded then. Because basically, analyze is a task, and it's going to do its thing. And it's going to await the analysis. Yeah, so what we want to do is we want to do this. Just run that. Okay, let's go back to the game analyzer tree. No game analyzer. Is playing. No, wait a second, hold on now. No, that's right. Wait until you're done, then queue up all of your children. That's right. The score, that's fine. The level is still a text file, that's fine. And this is fine. So the analyzer tree, because... So, yeah, score was happening before Tetris. So I really want the Tetris to be the parent of score. And this will make sure that the Tetris gets dealt with before the score, because the score is really secondary. It's not that, who cares, right? I don't care. Okay, so let's do that. And we'll run over here. Push my start button. Okay, let's do this. What? Why didn't it talk? What's going on? What? Did I not? What did I mess up? Well, the analyzer tree is playing as a child of Tetris. Tetris as a child of score. I start the is playing. Oh boy, I'm breaking all kinds of things, folks. I don't know. I'm going to put a breakpoint there. We'll top out. I broke it all. Okay, let's play that. Yeah, oh, there we go. Boy. True.
New game starting at level -1. Game is done at 0.
Thanks. So are we just incredibly delayed? I don't see. Yeah, I've got breakpoints everywhere again.
New game starting at level -1. Game is done at 0.
No, game's not done.
New game starting at level 18.
Should be giving a score update. It didn't give me a score update. Oh, I totally broke it.
Score is now 13,680.
Yeah, this is totally not true. It's taking way too long. Like, it's not even giving me that update. Okay. This is when we go to, desktop recording. This is when we go to look at everything I changed. And we're going to have to see what it is I changed. So I didn't do a whole lot. I made these run as tasks. I mean, I wanted. Let's see if that is the issue. And then we can figure out why that's the issue. If that was indeed the issue. That wasn't the issue.
New game starting at level -1.
Yeah, it's so delayed. That's not the issue. We'll stop that. Okay, so I think I don't know. I think I could keep it. Okay, what did I do with the base game analyzer? I added the text queue. And I added this. So let me not do this. Oops. I mean, I really want to do that. Let's just child.analyze, that's fine. Okay. Silence.
New game starting at level -1.
Okay. Yikes, what did I do? So it really is playing. Like, this doesn't actually... It doesn't run this analysis. These analyzers are so delayed. Single instance, single instance. Okay, I'm going to do some old school debugging here. Oh, I didn't do this. I'm just looking around at what I've changed. I'm going to just write a console.out. Console write line. Checking for text. And here we're going to do console write line. Found text. So I'm not going to be able to have this on the screen because it's tied to my OBS screen. I need Tetris to be shown on the OBS screen in order for this to work, but I'll describe what's happening. Okay, here we go. We're gonna do this. Whoa, it's just checking for text all the time. Like checking for text, checking for text. Huge amounts of checking for text. And then it still checking for text. Like it is doing it so fast. And it's not finding anything. The queue. Ah, shoot. The text queue is a single instance. Okay, well, oh, right. Okay, well, we won't do this anymore. We'll do this in the text queue. We're going to say console.writeLine adding text, and then we're going to spit out the text that we've are adding. I don't know. Actually, maybe I can add. Can I add perhaps a window capture? Here, this is the debug window right here. I've added it to my OBS scene, so let's see if you can see what I see. Oh, come on. There's actually a serious issue going on. Let's actually do the release so we don't debug. What is that going to do?
Game is done at 0.
Okay. See, it's not adding. It's not adding it at all.
New game starting at level -1.
So it's the actual adding of the text to the queue that's slow. Because you can see I'm about to get a Tetris one of these days. And it's still not adding itself to the queue. Still nothing there. Still nothing there. Still nothing there, and I think it's just dead. So we totally missed that.
Wowzers, Tetris rate at 50%.
Yeah, it's finally...
Score is now 25,840.
Okay. We'll stop this.
Score is now 31,540.
Yeah, thanks for that. So our analyzers are not able to add things to the queue. Okay. Let's go here in my add text. Come on. Well, see, but it's not even... It's not even calling this method until much, much, much later. Okay, it's time to do the Google. All right. C#, what are we at here? 56 minutes. Concurrent queue. Add item slow. I don't know what else to, however. Extremely slow. Consuming chunks. Adding while available, blah, 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 blah. Try deck, inside, concurrent queue, extremely poor performance of concurrent queue count. Maybe I'm using the concurrent queue wrong. When to use a thread-safe collection. So in this Microsoft example, they construct the queue, they populate it synchronously. And then they see, I'm just not, my analyzers aren't running. Why aren't my analyzers running? What does onQ actually do? Adds an object to the end of the concurrent queue. Try peek, get enumerator. Crap, you guys, what's happening? Okay, what we'll do is the text queue, we're going to, instead, we're not going to queue it up. All we're going to do is we're going to add the text. We're going to write the text that we would have added to the queue. We're just going to write it, to the console. And we'll see if that works. So I know you can't really see my debug screen. Maybe if I made it bigger. Maybe if I gave you a there. No, that's actually going to interfere with the the data extractor itself. Okay, well, we're just going to have to leave it like small like that, and you'll have to just look at the lines, look at the number of lines that are happening. Okay, so I'll hit start, and I'll hit start on the program. So this is us. We're playing. Nothing has been added to the queue. Still nothing there. Now it's finally added to the queue. So it isn't it's not the actual queue. So there, something should have been added to the queue because I got a Tetris. But there's still nothing added. Okay, so it's not the actual fact that we're doing the queuing itself. See, it's still not added. I should have gotten... And we're already past an hour, so I should really call this a day. So yesterday we made leaps and bounds, and today we dug ourselves into a hole. Oh, and only now is it like, score is now 46,360. So I've got some serious issues with my threads. They're just getting lost in the shuffle of somehow. A game is now done. There we go. Now we finally emptied the queue. Score is now 88888. No, it's not. Okay, well, we're going to have to call it there. Calling it a day. Because I can't be at this all day. So we dug ourselves into a bit of a hole that we'll have to fix up next time. All right, well, thanks for joining me. Have a good day. We'll see you next time. Hey, okay, folks. I fixed the issue. And it took a while, and I did it off camera because I didn't think it would be very enjoyable for you to watch that. So I'll show you what I did. I made a few things. Some things I didn't have to change, but I ended up changing it because I thought maybe... Anyway, I'll take you through. So originally I thought maybe this string interpolation wasn't working, but it totally works. This might be a little different than what you saw just previous to this, because I've been playing with it, and yeah, I've been using it for a week in my own tests, so that's why it's a little bit different. Okay, so the first thing I did was the Tetris data model. Now, if you'll recall, this used to be something very different. We had our lazy loaded properties, but we were doing the lazy loading ourselves. So essentially, well, actually, if I can, let's do this. What have I changed? Let's do that. Okay, so this is what we were doing. This is what it used to be. So remember, this is what we had originally. So, you know, we had these private variables, they were nullable, and you get the property. If the private variable has a value, then return it. Otherwise, do this thing and cache it. So this is what we were doing with all of this. Now, when I was doing my research, because we have a lot of things on different threads trying to access these same things, I thought perhaps that it was an issue with both trying to capture this at the same time on different threads. Because you can conceive of two threads operating on the same Tetris data model. And one of them is trying to get S number, and so it comes here and it doesn't have a value. So it's going to do this. And then at the same time, the second thread comes and wants the S number. Well, same thing. It doesn't have a value, so it's going to try and do this. Now they're both trying to look at the S number. And what's happening behind the scenes, I don't know. Is there some conflicts? Perhaps. A lot of stuff happens in this method. So, and then which one returns first will set the value, but then the second one will overwrite that value. And it's just a whole bunch of nonsense. And so I was looking into the actual lazy. Oh, that doesn't work. There's an actual proper class, an actual type in C# called lazy. And the lazy class is for this thing. It's don't calculate the value until you need it. And then when you need it, calculate it once and cache the result. But the upside with using the lazy, built-in lazy method is that you get this, you can say, yes, I want this to be thread safe. And it'll do some fancy tricks behind the scene to make sure that if two threads are trying to initialize the variable and one of them succeeds and the other one's still going, I think it cancels the one that's still going and just uses the cached value. Anyway, it's very smart about it. And so I changed everything, all the properties in the Tetris data model, to just be these lazy loaded values. And this is how I set them. I actually set them. Whoops. I might have to fuzz that out. Blur that out because that was from work. I don't want work. Anyway, okay. So this is how you set it. You see, this is a new lazy. It's an integer. This is the function you're going to run if you don't have the value. And the next one is this publication only enum, which is used when multiple threads are trying to initialize simultaneously. All threads are allowed to run the initialization method. The first thread to complete initialization sets the value. The value is returned to any other threads that were simultaneously running the initialization method. So this is a smart way of doing it. Like it's going to make the different thread access safe. Okay, so that's what I did. I think it actually cleaned things up a bit. Excuse me. Yeah. So the only downside to this is now I have to, every time I use, like here's Z number, I have to do a dot value. And I could go through and change that, but I could make some other property that uses the lazy behind the scenes, and but it's okay. I think this is good. So I made a lazy property. I turned all what we had into lazy properties, and I thought that would work. I really did. But I was still getting these strange exceptions being thrown. And that's why we were getting these long delays between the announcer talking. We get a Tetris and then like 2 minutes later he would talk. Because the issue was that, well, no, I'm not going to tell you the issue right now. I thought the issue was that these things were colliding. So I changed that, and I still was getting the issue though. But I kept what I changed because I like this better. So the next thing I fixed was in the isPlayingAnalyzer. I had actually had this set to true, which is why it was always returning that we were still playing. So it would do its thing. It would do its thing, and it would say, whether the game is starting or the game is done. But then it would just say true. And that's why it was announcing the score even when we were stopped playing. So that's fixed. Now I did some more research into what could be causing the issue. And it turns out the issue is actually way back here in our screen reader. So the screen reader, we give it a screenshot and we give it a bounding box. So, here's the screenshot of the game. look at this rectangle and extract these number of digits. Remember, this is running from multiple threads. Multiple threads are calling this. But there's only one screenshot, because you'll recall that we do this. This screenshot is given to us in the constructor, and it's the same instance. So it's the same picture. It's not a copy. That gets set here, and that gets passed into each one of these. Okay. Now, this, if you'll see from what it used to be, what did I, oh, right, I took away some using statements. Okay, this is what it used to be. We came in here with the screenshot. We tried to clone the screenshot using, get me this section of the screen and save that in subimage. But the problem is, because this is the same instance being accessed by multiple threads, there's something inherent in the bitmap. And I don't know if this is in the documentation or not. It's not. Of course it's not. Why would it be? I had to go on Stack Overflow to figure this out. But you can't actually run this clone method at the same time on two different threads. So what I was getting was this object is already being accessed exception, and it was being thrown. And so if that was being thrown, if something else was trying to clone this bitmap, extract a section from it, when I enter in here, this throws an exception. This whole thing kicks out. It just, we get out of here, and come on. Why is my backspace not working? So then this would throw an exception. This would never be set. This would always show as 0, and nothing would ever be different. And that's why we were missing some of the robot words. Haha, the robot words. So the solution to that is to bring in what's called a semaphore. And so if we go back to my branch here, you'll see here this line 24, which I should make a little bit bigger. I just have an object here. It's a lock object. It's not static. No. Oh, right, because I've only got one screen reader per Tetris data model. And so I just have to lock that. Yeah, I don't want it to be static. So we create a null bitmap here and we lock it. And this ensures that only one thread is accessing that subimage. So this line will only run on one thread. And all other threads will wait here until the first one is done and allowed to continue, and then the next one gets to do it. But this lock statement ensures that everything inside the curly braces is only done by a single thread at a time. And that fixed the issue. And it worked. And that was the issue. And it was awesome. So that actually is it. I'm going to play a game because I want to show you what I did. Other changes I'd made were just to the score. I did it at 100,000 was the threshold. So we're going to get updates every 100,000. I fixed the is playing. The Tetris, I got rid of all that other stuff. We can add a few things here like, wow, what a Tetris. That's really amazing. What a timely Tetris that is. Okay. And the other thing is if my Tetris rate is over 60, which is traditionally max out pace, but for me, for my purposes, that's me transitioning to level 19 from an 18 start with at least 400,000 points. So that's kind of the threshold I'm shooting for in my practice. So if we're actually hitting that, we're gonna just say the Tetris rate. If we're not hitting that, if we're too low, we're just gonna say our Tetris sound. So that's that. Let's do this. I can do this. We'll turn, yeah, that's playing. So I'm gonna turn on my TV here and we'll play a few games of awesomeness. Okay, ready and set and go. We'll play a 15 game.
New game starting at level 15.
This is only going to work if I get Tetrises. So I best get Tetrises. I'm not sure what that was. Come on. Well, I'm not getting Tetrises, so maybe I should conk out of this game and start over. Now, the one thing is that I have to restart the game.
Game is done at 8,168.
You have to restart the analyzer every time. And we're going to fix that in the next video. Okay, let's do an 18 start.
New game starting at level -1.
Oh, there's still an issue with that -1 stuff. I'm not entirely sure why yet. But it happens fairly infrequently. Well, I shouldn't say fairly, because, I mean, it does happen maybe 1 in every 10 tries or something, so I'm not sure. I really don't know what the problem is there.
Wow, what a Tetris, 66%.
There we go.
What a timely Tetris that is, 72%.
He's so polite.
What a timely Tetris that is, 63%. That's really amazing, 69%.
Oh my goodness me.
Wow, what a Tetris, 74%. Score is now 119,728. Wow, what a Tetris, 75%.
And then I die.
Game is done at 145,188. New game starting at level 44.
Ooh, 44. Nice. Yeah. Okay, so that's it. That's the updated version of the robot announcer. I can get rid of this. And yeah, so next time what I want to do, the Tetris analyzer keeps track of how many Tetrises you've got in that that game. But when you start a new game, we want to erase. We basically want to zero out Tetris count. And we have no way of doing that other than restarting the whole analyzer. So that's probably what we'll work on next time, which in my real life is tomorrow. So thanks for joining me. Have a good day, and we'll see you next time.